Our guys had a good week of practice. Kind of simulated all the things that you have up there. The part that I really enjoyed of this group, the work ethic, their mentality, their focus, right? So really challenged them on Sunday to put a good week of work in. They've done that. Health-wise, everybody's cleared. Everybody's good to go. Shouldn't be Aiden Lawford practice all week. There's somebody else. Who was it? Caleb cleared. Yeah, Caleb practiced yesterday and today. Actually, I think he practiced Tuesday, too. He did practice Tuesday. He might have been in green, but, he's cleared. So, with that, open up for questions.
Wisconsin defense obviously is playing well.
Yeah.
I think the two freshman linebackers probably. What have you seen from them?
Yeah, well, they played well all year, really, defensively. I mean, there's obviously some games that got away from them there and during that stretch, but, they're big up front. They're physical. That DC and him and Luke have been together a long time, so I think they understand what they want. The emergence of the two freshman linebackers, obviously, they're very productive. But I just think overall they play with a lot of confidence. They do a lot, but not a lot. They kind of hide certain things well. But I'm excited about the challenge. I know Luke's excited. I think the biggest thing too, they've really tackled, I think, pretty well. One of the things that gets lost on defensive measurements is a lot of times the actual production on early downs. Now third down, it's about throwing it to change, right, and making it. But early downs, a lot about tackling. They've tackled very, very well.
When I asked officially about being the CFP, being the rankings, he said you're a little surprised. Just tell me why.
I wasn't surprised. I was hoping to be ranked the week before. I just didn't know what was going to happen. I think there was some, I don't really follow that all that much, but I knew there was a change in when I saw Hunter pop on, right? I was never at Arkansas with Hunter, but I know who he is. And when he got named, obviously the guy, I knew there was going to be some deeper dialogue. And then also, just as they get further into it, they start researching, how teams lost and why. And I think that that was probably something that played into our favor, especially as teams keep winning. I don't know where USC is. I know they're up there. Obviously, the three losses we have to have, Indiana and Ohio State up there as high as they are, that should draw attention. So all we got to do is worry about this week and see where we're at the end.
You have a lot more PBUs the last two games.
Yeah.
What's gone into getting more hands on?
I think emphasis, Aaron and our defense staff has really emphasized that. Some of the PBUs are obviously normal ones at the top of routes with our DBs, but we've got a lot of hands on balls. Pat Farrell's a large dude, right? Angelo's gotten a hand on a couple. Kurt Neal's got his hands on some. I think part of it's understanding where a quarterback is and making him throw. I thought that's been a huge thing the last 3 weeks for sure.
Can't control the weather, obviously. How does it affect the game plan going into a game like this?
Well, actually, we've had a blessing. Some of my coaches, every day at 6:30 a.m. we start as a staff meeting. I usually tell them what the weather is today and what I expect it to be Saturday, wherever we're playing, right? And it's something I just believe really affects how kids. I don't want to be shocked on Saturdays, right? So I've all along, kind of what we have here is what we thought we were going to get there. I looked today, and it's supposed to be somewhere around 35. Light winds on Saturday night, no moisture, so it kind of played into the way we had the last 2 days here.
I think I remember that Wisconsin's now heating their field. Does that make much of a difference?
I have no. I didn't even. I couldn't tell you that. I don't think I had a heated field. I could be wrong. I don't think I did. I think they did that. I remember something about that. They wanted to host a playoff game, right? There was a part of that. So, yeah, I don't know what that means. I have a heated floor in my bathroom. It's pretty live. But that's about it.
Will this be James White's first time back there as a non-Badger, if you will?
James White? Yeah. Well, we got a lot of them. James White, Aaron Henry, Terrence Jamison, all those guys were teammates. Got quite a few guys. Pete Wyden, who was my DFO. I hired him out of there. His dad was the lead lawyer for the University of Wisconsin, been connected a long time. Mark Torsani and I have been together since my first day in the job there, so there's a lot of guys throughout the building. James will have some big news coming this afternoon. It's kind of cool. So I'm super excited for him. He's really been a blessing. He's a guy that I've tracked for a long time. I'm sure he'll tell you this in his own humility way, right? He was a second-string running back. He wasn't even a starting tailback, and we recruited him to Wisconsin. He became the freshman Big Ten Player of the Year. Set a record there during the next 4 years to put himself in the NFL, and it's kind of cool the way our paths crossed. I later became, obviously, the Patriots and shared a journey with him, and then now got him into coaching, and he'll take another step forward, and I'm really excited for him later this year. But he gave us a good year here, and super excited about his future.
You have a common opponent. Did you watch a lot of film of their game against Washington?
Yeah, now that was one where the weather did. I would say in that game, it was – I remember that was our bye week, and I was sitting there, and I'm like, okay, I've been there, done that, and then I think that one was very apparent. But on the flip side of it, right, you could see the emotion of that game. It stayed close, and then those guys continued to play really well on defense. They got a little banged up, Washington did, but Wisconsin took advantage of every moment. You saw some of the players you see now that played really well last week against Indiana kind of emerged in that game, and that's what they've been riding on.
But what did you see for your defensive staff to galvanize
Yeah.
that unit the way they did after Seattle took the two back?
Well, I think the big thing was we kind of just sat down and assessed, hey, this is what our strengths are. This is make sure we got to do. Don't give them any free yards. I think they've done a really good job of limiting big plays. And then I thought last week, the scenario where we stalled out, they drove the ball all the way down the field, no matter what happened, and we made a stop, first and goal inside the 5. That's a really big deal. You can't quantify how big that is. And then also, just like it sounds a little bit, the opening series, they got a couple of first downs, and then we stop them, and they get a field goal, even though obviously we don't want them to score points to stop that and make them, settle for a field goal. They got 2 field goals the first half. We got 2 touchdowns, and then we came out the second half and scored right away to make it that score, and that has a really big effect on the game.
Do you hear from Barry Alvarez or any old Wisconsin friends during this week, or do they kind of keep some distance?
It's a little bit of everything. Coach and I talk quite a bit. Just the relationship we have, it doesn't really have. I know everybody wants to go to that narrative, but it really has nothing to do. It's just friends in my past, right? During our bye week, I was in Jersey and landed next to the Giants facility, and we called Charlie Bullen, and we met him for a half hour, right? In this profession, you just got buddies all over the place, and what they are. So I saw that video that Coach, somebody sent at the radio show where somebody made reference about the status of the programs, and it was an animated Coach Alvarez response, but it's just, my wife, we got a lot of great memories there, a lot of our coaches as well. So that part is really cool, but that's really either before the game or after the game. It doesn't have anything to do with where it's at. So super amount of respect for Luke and his crew, and they're playing really good football, so we'll see where we're at.
Seemed like you were really purposeful about establishing the running game last week. What have you seen from that? What are you pleased about?
Yeah, well, when we run the ball well, we play well, right? That's bottom line. I think offensively, that's been a big kind of staple of our past. My career, we've evolutioned from what I was doing at Wisconsin, a little bit of Arkansas to where we're at now. Just it's a different time of college football to play with tempo. Obviously, our quarterback is very talented. It used to be, my old offenses back in the day were all running back, rushing oriented, and now we got wide receivers, we got quarterbacks, got 3 running backs, different skill set of all those guys. But I think when we play on time and on rhythm, it's when we're running the ball effectively on early downs.
Brett, one more about the rankings. What does it mean for your program to be in the CFP rankings?
Yeah, it's big. Makes us relevant. I would tell you, when those rankings come out, I was I wasn't near my phone. But about an hour after they out, I came back, and you just have an influx of reactions from not necessarily, there were recruits, guys we just had on campus, guys that are in the portal that we're recruiting, right? Your portal and JC recruits, those guys are much more engaged with what's going on in college football, more so than maybe high school kids, right? So, but also just for me personally, I hear from NFL coaches, NFL people that they're sitting at home watching the college ranking stuff. I hear from, former coaches that I worked with that are other places that are enjoying our success, even though they weren't here anymore, right? So it's just, I think it brings in a lot more awareness to your program when you're ranked. It's just, you're in a different conversation. It's a good thing to be a part of.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.